Extend their lead. It's 3-1 in the bottom of the sixth.
I faced him a lot in the past. He was a starting pitcher before. Just started doing my job. I was late at 3-1. I don't think he's going to throw me fast when 3-1. So after that, I just tried to make adjustment, and he leave a pitch around the middle, and I hit it pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting unbelievable starting pitching. Tonight from Walk and, through Reagan, Singh, Lugo, all throughout Marshy. So making our job easy as an offense. We just got to scratch a few across and let the bullpen close it out.
You feel bad for the players. They put so much time and effort into it, and and I guess this is, and I tell them every year, the goal is for it to mean something. In junior college, you don't always get that because there's something next. And half our teams going to Division I's or Division II's.
I mean, Tony Moore could be in a strong contention for 3A POI, but what a run Hoisington has done.
Like I was think about like, okay, we talk about the Bills and the Ravens specifically, or even the Niners in the NFL. I don't think any of them have as much pressure as this Celtics team.
Drop pass for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Bouchard thought about a one-timer, looked for a lane, let it go, and scored! Evan Bouchard!
Swung on, and that's drilled to center. Hit well, going back on it, and over the head of the center fielder, Bader. One hop off the wall. Manzardo chugs into second. Scoring is Fry. The Guardians are up 3-1.
And welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. It is the Tuesday Sports Day show. Steve Webster, your host today. Joined in the studio by Mike Hesher is here today. So we've got you lined up for a pretty good program on the show. Hesher's running the controls. I'm going to make him talk here in just a moment, too. So he'll be doing double duty here on the program today. We're jam-packed. Yes, a lot of things going on this week, including 5A state softball. Grape and Lady Panthers open play Thursday in Wichita. They play Spring Hill at 11 o'clock. You can hear that game on B1043 The Point. With a pregame show starting around 10:45. Joining us in studio to talk about it today, head coach Kerry Minton, Braylon Turner, Shayla Prendergast, and Camden Kelch. We'll talk Hoisington baseball today. They play Thursday in Manhattan, 5:45. They'll take on Sabetha in their first-round game. And we'll be talking to the head coach of the Cardinals, Eric Steiner. He's going to be joined by seniors Grattan Dalton and Tony Moore. And the world-famous Cajun chef will be in, not to exchange recipes today, but he'll be talking Great Bend track and field. We're talking about Lyles Lashley. So state track meet getting underway Friday in Wichita. So plenty of things to talk about. Of course, the Thursday sport headlines and sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Hesh, this is getting fun.
Yes, it is. All sorts of spring sports coming to a conclusion.
Well, I'm talking about
Royals.
I'm talking about your Royals, man. It's getting serious now. I mean, this is fun.
Okay, let me put the brakes on.
Jake Eisenberg to call last night. Salvador Perez, who actually plays for the Iuka Hustlers, blew one over Highway 281 into Mayor Jim Kelly's field last night, and the Royals win again, this time 8-3 over the Detroit Tigers. That was game one of a 3-game series at Kauffman Stadium. That was part of a 10-pitch at-bat to Salvi. Started the 6th inning with his 9th homer as the Royals started the inning with 5 consecutive hits. Salvi's talking about, he hit that one pretty good. I would say so. He smoked it into the fountains in left center field. That helped. They scored 6 runs in that inning, built an 8-1 lead. Royals once again getting the lead first in this game. This time it was Michael Massey opened the scoring in the second, leadoff home run. Massey a good night, 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, plus that second inning home run. He's talking about, everybody's clicking. It's fun Royals talk right now. And we get to see different. Last year was Joe Goldberg even on the field in May after a game.
I'm not aware of that, no.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't come down. He started wearing, tank tops and Bermuda shorts to the game because he figured, the Royals going to lose. I'm not going to be out doing TV after the game's over with. But, hey, that's Michael Massey talking with him last night on Bally Sports as the Royals win it. Michael Waka, whoever they roll out there, goes 6 hits, 7 innings, allows 2 runs, struck out 3 to win his 3rd straight start. What game was that when he just got lit up? But he just bounces back in 3 straight strong starts. And game 2 of that series tonight. We'll have it for you starting at 6 here on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Barton baseball coach Brent Biggs yesterday on the show, wrapping up the Cougar baseball season. That in it, I really felt, I just had a feeling, Hesh, that the Cougars were going to do it. They just it felt like JUCO World Series.
They were on a roll, but obviously getting down 8-0 to Johnson County that one match did not help them at all.
Yeah, but they came back, made it 8-5.
And if I recall, did they not have the tying run on base?
I mean, I thought
or the tying run was at the plate.
I thought they were going to win that.
I did too.
But they didn't, so they came back the next day to take on Hutchinson. And again, had some chances to win it, but Hutch wins it in walk-off fashion, a bang-bang play at home. And Brent Biggs talking about that yesterday. He's kind of, you're on such a roll, and then it ends just like that. He summed it up. I like that. When you have junior college players, they're only here for 2 years. They're always thinking about, okay, this year, and then, okay, where am I going to play next year? All he wants is players to just care. I think they cared. That was shown when the Cougars dropped that game. So instead of going to the JUCO World Series, the Cougars in with another successful season. They were 2-time defending Jayhawk West champions coming into the year, finished with a record of 41-21. Cougars making the JUCO World Series in 2018, the only time they've done that in a very impressive history of Barton Junior College baseball. Speaking of tournaments that are underway, the Big 12 baseball tournament got underway today. How about the Sunflower Showdown, Hesh, at Globe Life Field at 9 a.m.? You could get eggs and bacon at the concession stand and your coffee, and then sit down and watch the Sunflower Showdown.
And who's winning? Who won?
It is over. KU defeats K-State today by the score of 2-1. Game 2 of the Big 12 tournament, which has more teams in it this year, obviously. At 12:30, the defending champions, TCU, they're a number 9 seed, taking on West Virginia. 4 o'clock game today, Cincinnati against UCF, and then Texas plays Texas Tech in the nightcap tonight at 7:30. So that is underway. KU advances. K-State drops into the losers bracket. All right, Sunflower Sports Solutions, Connor Nickel on the show Friday, talking about the Houston Cardinals and the run they've been on. Cardinals open play at 5:45 Thursday. They will take on Sabetha. And Connor was happy that they didn't have to play Heston in the first round. They've got a very good pitcher who will likely go in the first game against Topeka Hayden, whether he'll be available. If the Cardinals win, Heston wins. They'd meet in the semifinals. Heston won the 2 meetings between them this season, but that was early in the year before the Cards got on a roll. So we'll look forward to that. We'll have both of our games on, including Great Bend Panther softball. Carrie Mint will be in, along with her 3 players coming up. But the Houston Cardinal game at 5:30, right around there. There's 3 games before it, so it could be a little bit later than that. On 100.7 Eagle Country, Cole Rife will have the call, and then Panther softball from Wichita, 10:45 for the pregame show there. So we'll talk Lady Panther softball coming up. Also, Houston Cardinal baseball. All right, other sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Evan Cohen, the host of Unsportsmanlike, saying no team in recent memory in any sport. He used the Ravens, he used the Bills as an example in the NFL of having pressure to deliver and win a championship. No one has more pressure than the Boston Celtics.
Can't argue that. Long tradition.
You know,
Bill Russell, if you go way back. Larry Bird.
I wasn't going to go back that far. I mean,
Casey Jones? Oh, yeah.
No, because we were having this discussion earlier. I said, okay, does this date us at all?
Yes.
Okay, first year I was married. We had a little apartment. And it had been 19, let's see.
You just had your 40th anniversary.
It was 1984, right? So my pop was a big Celtics fan. I loved the Lakers. I loved Magic and James Worthy but but he was a Celtic fan. You remember
I
that
like your dad already.
Do you remember that Memorial Day game where Boston just crushed the Lakers? I mean, it was like by 40 points. And I remember him coming over. He was with one of his buddies, and they were, I don't know, they were bringing up by an end table or something. He came in, well, how about that game today? Woo-hoo-hoo. And I was ticked. I mean, that's how much I cared about the NBA then. I mean, it hurt that the Lakers had lost that game. Of course, they did come back and win, and then ended up winning the series.
Oh, but they always whined about it. It's so hot in the Boston Garden.
Well,
we can't play. It's too hot.
It was. God, just think if they didn't have air conditioning now.
That's called home court advantage.
I guess so. Yeah, of course, they end up like August 1st, right, when they wrap it up. Anyway, those are days gone by for me as far as caring about the NBA. But anyway, the Celtics will start against the Indiana Pacers tonight in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. By the way, we'll get basketball going here in just a second. We'll have Indiana and Boston game 2 on Thursday. We'll have an afternoon. We don't have Royals baseball that day, so we'll have that game for you starting at 6:30. And then tomorrow night, the Royals play during the day. They've got a 12:30 game, so we'll bring you game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. I set this up just for you, Hesh.
I'm sure you did. I appreciate that.
Because the Nuggets.
I was expecting the Nuggets to be there.
Well, instead, you'll get maybe this year's champion, Minnesota. They're at home taking on the Dallas Mavericks tomorrow night. So that'll be game 1 of that.
I can root for the T-Wolves over Dallas any day.
Well, I like that. They're a fun team to watch. They actually do some other things besides shoot threes. It's amazing. What a concept.
Stifle yourself. Come on.
NHL playoffs down to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. The call on 6:30 Ched. Or is that Shad? I've asked that before. C-H-E-D. I guess it'd be 6:30 Ched in Edmonton as Evan Bouchard scores to double Edmonton's lead to 2-0 in the second period. Oilers beating Vancouver 3-2 in Game 7 to advance to the Western Conference Final. They'll face off against Dallas. It's Florida against the New York Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Have you seen how many years it's been since a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup?
It's amazing. Well, I don't know the number, but I know it
goes back in the 80s.
Yeah.
A long time ago. So anyway, NHL playoffs, nothing is better than the NHL. Big men on ice. Wow, pretty impressive. And the final call concerning the Kansas City Royals, a call on WTAM in Cleveland. Kyle Manzardo hitting an RBI double. That gave the Guardians a 3-1 lead over the Mets in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cleveland goes on to win 3-1, so we've been talking about how hot the Royals have been. That win last night put the Royals 11 games over 500, but they can't gain any ground on Cleveland, who ended up beating the Mets last night by the score of 3-1. So Royals baseball tonight, they're taking on Detroit, who's kind of in a scuffle right now. They've lost 6 straight, so the Royals taking advantage of some of those teams down on their luck, like the Oakland Athletics were. But then, after tomorrow's game, Hesh, they get a day off, and I want to see how they start stacking up against some of those teams in the American League East. And they'll get that chance as they open a series against the Tampa Bay Rays on the road Friday.
Their next 23 games, I think it is the Tampa Bay Rays. They play the Yankees at one point. They play the Dodgers. They play the Guardians. They play the Twins. Let me know. I'll let you know at the end of June how I'm feeling.
I've always said June 1st, you kind of are what you are. So, I mean, we're almost to June 1st, Hesh. And if you go along my philosophy, which you know has got to be right, correct?
Why, of course.
I think they're in it for it's going to be a fun season.
Well, if you heard the Bobby Witt comment that he's made, he was walking down the clubhouse steps one day, and he just said, the boys are playing some ball. And I was in Kansas City over the weekend. That's all you hear. His little snippet of the boys are playing some ball.
So is that a billboard now on
I'm
I-70?
sure it's going to be pretty soon, but I have not seen it. But the boys are playing some ball.
The boys are playing some ball. Okay, Royals baseball, we'll find out. Good advanced weather forecast on the Royals schedule, too. That's really good. Yeah, we'll find out. I think we're going to find out that they're going to be in it.
I hope so. It makes the summer a lot funner.
What are the records reviews here? Do you have that over there in front of you?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, all right. All our sports day guesses for what the Royals were going to do. Okay, let's run them down.
Well, Mike Corson is the best at 84 and 78.
But we will admit that last year he had them winning even more games
Yes,
last
he
year.
did. We kind of, and then we have Matt Bright. He changed his mark. It's now 81 and 81. I'm not sure how he was allowed.
That was his vote.
Okay, all right.
500.
Then we have a Mr. Webster at 79 and 83.
Okay.
We have Gurr at 77 and 85, along with Connor Nickel. Mike Warren, 75 and 87. Let's see, Mizunas has 77 and 85. National champion Coach Combs has them 76 and 86. And then
Cole had 77, 85 too, didn't he?
Yeah, 77. Where is he, Cole, at? He's up there. 74 and 88. And then bringing up the rear, Aaron Clark, 72 and 90, and some idiot named Hesher, 69 and 93.
Imagine that. The biggest fan of them all, the Royals. That's why we call him Dr. Doom.
Amen.
Coming up, we're going to talk great. Those girls are playing some ball. Yeah, we're talking about Great Bend Lady Panthers softball. That's coming up next here on Sports Day.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Get ahead or catch up this summer with Barton Online. With 5 convenient sessions to choose from, Barton Online is the perfect fit for your summer goals and budget. At just $155 per credit hour, it's an affordable option for everyone. Financial aid options are available for qualifying students. Now enrolling for all sessions. Get started on your future today. Learn more at online.bartoncccc.edu.
Don't want to be tied down by a wireless contract? Get the service you deserve with Nextech Wireless Advance Pay. There's no contracts and no credit checks. Plus, you can get unlimited talk and text with 22 gigabytes of high-speed data for only $25 a month. Make the switch now and get a device on us. Nextech Wireless. Home on the range.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back. Sports Day here, brought to you in part today by Venture Corporation, reminding you to help a neighbor, shop local when you can, and the Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. Joining us in studio today are the Great Bend Lady Panthers. They open play Thursday at 11 o'clock. They will take on Spring Hill at Wichita State's Wilkins Stadium. Carrie Minton is in, Braylon Turner, Shayla Prendergast. Is that right, Coach? I mean, close enough? Okay, all right. Shay. Okay, and Camden Kelch. So what's been going on, Coach, since you were in here last week? So,
I skipped last week. I just sent some girls up last week because I was MIA.
We were afraid maybe you were suspended or something.
No, not after that one. Not after that one. There have been some moments this year, but no, it's been a good week of practice. Getting ready to roll, and weather's been great. We're out of school finally, so we just get to do the fun stuff now.
Does that work like that? I mean, when you don't have the routine, I mean, in school we got practice, we have this, and this. Now you just practicing, and
we've kept a pretty good routine.
Okay.
Since school got out, we've started practicing in the morning. We've kept it pretty consistent. Gone 9 to 11, and the weather's nice, and that way the girls have the rest of the day. I didn't want to wake them from their naps mid-afternoon and try and get them rolling, for normal practice time. So it's been good, and it's been a good routine, and it kind of worked out with our early game time on Thursday. So, yeah, it's been a good week.
Has it sunk in a little bit? I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, you're going to state tournament. That's pretty neat.
It is very cool. Yeah, it's sunk in a little bit. You know, it's kind of, there's a lot going on, so you don't really get to kind of relax and enjoy it as much. On my part, I was telling Westerhouse, you know, it's a lot of people asking for a lot of things, and that's a good thing, you know.
Oh, yeah?
But it's you know, just busy trying to track down information as much as you can, and not be on information overload going into Thursday.
So how do you track down this information? Some information is more available than other information.
There is, and you know, it's been. I've had some great luck. I have some coaches that I've been in contact with, and they've been really great about getting, you know, basically scout information out to us. You know, it's a little bit. I was telling the girls yesterday. You know, the WAC is pretty tight. You know, somebody asked one of the WAC schools for information on us. We're really pretty good about, you know, keeping that info tight to the chest, just because we want to see our WAC teams do well in the postseason. But up there, I think it's a little bit different. You know, I don't think there's as much loyalty to each other in some of those situations.
Oh, really? So you get to find out who hates who. Does that mean? Okay.
You really get some good stuff, you know, when you have some coaches emailing and texting some info. So it's been, you know, you just reach out, and a lot of them are really, you know, willing and helpful to help us out in any way that they can.
So who hates Spring Hill?
No, I'm not. That's crossing the line. I won't go there.
Okay, you don't name sources. That's fine. So what have you been able to find out about Spring Hill?
You know, Spring Hill is going to be really tough. Obviously, you know, we look at the state tournament, like I mentioned to the girls earlier this week in practice. You know, they have 2 losses on the season, but in the state tournament, the 8 seed, us, 7 seed, we have 6 losses. So, you know, top to bottom, it's going to be tough. It doesn't matter where you're at. You know, for us looking at Spring Hill, you know, they've got a great pitcher, you know, but we've seen great pitching, you know, all year long here and there. And I mean, it hasn't been probably as consistent, but, you know, I feel really confident in that. And we have 2 great pitchers, you know, that have thrown. We throw Paige in the mix. She threw again with us today at practice. So, you know, I think we might catch some people off guard, not knowing really what Great Bend's all about right now.
Okay. Braylon, what do you think about going to state?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I would say so. Mm-hmm. So, what's your week been like? I mean, it's always hectic at this time of year.
It's been good. A little bit stressful knowing that it's really big. Just state's really big, and you're going against super good teams. But I mean, I know I have a good defense and a good offense behind me, and so I don't really know. I think it's gonna be good.
Okay, against Newton, you go out there and go 6 2/3 in that first game. What's the discussion like when you're talking with Carrie out there and it's the 7th inning? Talk about what you guys were talking about at that time.
Just switching things up because they've seen me 4 times through the lineup, and they start to catch on, and you don't want a good hit or a home run or something, and it's just good to switch pitching up.
Shayla, what was your conversation like? You're probably in on that a little bit too at that time, coming in to turn the lights out on the Lady Railers.
Berlin did an amazing job that game. That's really all it was. It was just they wanted to change it up a little bit for the last little bit.
And so did Braylon, like the last thing she leaves, don't screw this up.
I don't feel like that was her words of wisdom.
Berlin's really supportive. She's a really good teammate.
Camden, you had 2 hits in that win over Newton. Did you feel... Did the team's, I guess, mood change? I mean, you start, okay, here we go. We need 2 wins, get to state. Did you feel the team kind of loosened up as you went through the day, or was it pretty even keel all the way?
I feel like at first, when we were sitting there watching, was it Goddard and Valley Center before us? Valley Center. We were sitting there. We were kind of scared. We're like, uh-oh, pressure's on us now. Home at regionals, pretty big. But then when we got into play, I felt like we loosened up.
Yeah, that's always hard to watch the other game. You know, you kind of wonder, well, I wonder how we stack up against them. I don't know. Yeah.
Trying to figure out what to do.
What was it like when that final out was recorded against Goddard?
It's pretty... We didn't really get to watch on our game?
Yeah, your game, the one that sent you to state.
Oh, it was exciting.
Okay.
A lot of...
I think we all held our breath for a moment.
Yeah.
To the outfield. they're a great outfield group, so you're confident, but there's always just that moment.
The pressure's on.
The pressure's on.
What was it like compared maybe the throw it out home plate play that sent you to state? That's a long time ago now.
It's been a day or two.
Yeah, okay.
It's been a day or two. But what's funny is that the hit was almost exactly the same. Was
Yep.
almost in the exact same spot. The only difference is that we had 2 outs this time as opposed to 1, and needing to get the tying run at the plate. So it was. Like I said, I think the girls played 2 tremendous games last week, and that was just a great way to cap it off.
All right, Shayla, championship game, chance to go on to state. So you go out there and you think, well, our home fans a little bit too comfortable. I want to make things exciting for them, right? So all of a sudden, the bases are loaded. What are you thinking about at that time?
I was really thinking I just need to trust my defense, and I'm doing my own thing, and I just have a lot of faith in my defense because they're a really good group of girls.
What are you guys thinking at that time?
I was scared. Bases loaded. Bases loaded. Think I can't let any ball go past me. Like if I let a ball go past me, I know they're running.
Coach, your thoughts?
There were no thoughts.
Okay.
Just, in those situations, those girls, they've all played for years.
Yeah.
Like Chayla said, trust your instincts. I know wholeheartedly, that Cameron's going to work her tail off behind the plate and not let something get past, and the rest of the defense is ready to make a play. So, you get a little anxious and you hold your breath a little bit longer, when the ball's released, but other than that, I have full faith that these girls were going to be able to pull it out.
Okay, we're just a couple days away right now. So do you know how your pitching's going to go? Are we going to have a live rock, paper, scissors on here to decide who gets the ball in the first game against Spring Hill?
No, we kind of wait and see how everybody's feeling. Our tendency all year, though, has been to go Braylon to start a game or game 1 and then follow it up, with Chayla coming in on the backside. But, we'll just kind of wait and see how everybody's feeling that day. We only have 1 game on Thursday, so we know we have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to our pitching staff to get us through those 7 innings, and that's how we'll approach this game.
Okay, so I'm sure you have a director of softball operations that plans all this stuff and sets everything up. We're going to eat here. We're going to do this. We're going to stay here. You don't? Yeah. There's someone. Okay, all right. So take me through what's the next 2 days look like when you get down to Wichita before that 11 o'clock start.
We have practice again tomorrow morning. We're getting together for team dinner tomorrow night. I think we're loading up and heading out at 7 a.m. on Thursday. Get to the field. We typically get to the field about 2 hours before the game, and that way we can kind of get settled in the dugout, start warm up about an hour and a half prior to, and then we're ready, game time, first pitch. So
I'd love that, having that first game, even,
it is
maybe
nice.
the first game if you're the 1 seed instead of the 8, but as you said earlier, it really maybe doesn't matter when you get to 5-8 and look at these teams that are there.
Yeah, and that's what, something we've talked about our schedule and some of the teams that we've faced, and we've played extremely well. And, I like having a little bit of that underdog, mentality. So, as they mentioned, there was a little bit of pressure, playing at home and hosting a regional because you feel like, you have to perform. They always feel like they have to perform at the highest level, but there's just a little bit of extra anxiety there. And so going into this game, we have nothing to lose. Lay it all on the line, play their hearts out, and I feel like we'll come out on top.
This is an interesting roster makeup, and I know you've talked about it before, but I'd never get a chance to talk to you when you come in here. I mean, with the makeup of the team, you've got upperclassmen, and of course the grizzled veterans here. You sophomores are like over the hill already, right? But it's unique.
It is. It's very unique, and a lot is to be said for all the time that they've put in. Getting to this point, a lot of fall ball, that sort of stuff. But, we do, and that's what I think has probably been, one of the best attributes for this team is that we have great senior leadership. We throw Deshauna in there as a junior, and she's been a starter now for 3 years. So you talk about, you kind of have that tendency to treat her almost in like a senior in that group. And then you have all of these youngsters, a big chunk of sophomores and freshmen that are making up a a big part of our lineup day in, day out, and it's great. You know, it's a lot of fun. And you look at them while they're out on the field, and you're thinking, wow, they're going to be out there for a couple more years. And, you know, it's sad to see kids, you know, like Paige and Hallie and Riley and them having to move on but I'm glad that they get to be a part of this chunk of this success at this point.
Okay, a couple more days. Chayla, what are you thinking right now?
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm ready, like mentally and everything. And like I have full faith in our defense and offense and everything, so I'm not really worried about the physical, but like just emotionally and mentally, we just need to stay in it.
Okay, Braylon, what are you thinking?
You know, just go in, do what I've been doing, even though it is a lot of pressure, but I just got to clear my mind, and it's just a regular game.
All right, Cameron.
It's time to show everyone what we've been working for this whole year.
Any new paint schemes with eye black or anything going into this one? Or
Nope.
All right, just real quick, just in case Coach Minton hasn't decided yet, why don't we do a little rock, paper, scissors? Okay, you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors right now. See who's going to start for the Lady Panthers. Ready?
Paper, scissors, shoot. Ooh.
And our starter is Braylon Turner for the...
Hey, you know, before I would like to, our crowd out there Tuesday night was absolutely amazing, and I would like to thank everybody that made the trip out there to support us, and we would love to see them there on Thursday.
Come out.
And the best thing is, this is a big girl stadium.
Yep.
You don't have to look through chain link fences. You sit up high, unrestricted views.
Yep.
Guys, have fun. Bring home something for us, okay?
Sounds good.
Yes.
All right, Lady Panther softball talk here today on KVGB. Hoiston Cardinal baseball talk coming up next.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Are you a Class A CDL driver looking for a new opportunity? Venture Corporation is looking to hire several current valid Class A CDL drivers. And here are some great facts about driving for Venture Corporation that you will definitely enjoy. Higher pay, even higher pay if you have a hazmat endorsement. You'll be driving nice trucks, have more flexible hours, home most nights, and seldom any weekend work. Ready to team up with a homegrown, family-owned, and local company? Don't wait. Call Leslie at Venture Corporation today.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sports Day today.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sports Day today also brought to you in part by Eller Auto Repair. They're a local mechanic and help behind Great Bend. Appliance, furniture, and sleep source in Great Bend. Also in part by Advanced Therapy and Sports Medicine. Get your life back. And the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, your certified Cenex lubricant dealer in Great Bend. All right, time to talk Hoiston Cardinal baseball. Cards open play in the 3A state tournament. Coming up on Thursday, they will meet Sabetha in the first round. It's the fourth game of the day. Help us talk about it is the head coach of the Hoiston Cardinals, Eric Steiner, also in on the show today, Grattan Dalton, the senior. And the other senior on this team is Tony Moore. They're all here today. Coach, this is an annual event. This is pretty cool. Back to the state tournament again. Congratulations. Always nice to go get a regional championship and do it for the second straight year in pretty impressive fashion. Way to go.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. All credit goes to the boys. You know, we've trusted the process all year long, and we're back in where we want to be.
Okay, so everybody's been talking about how, well, not even red hot, white hot you've been. So what changed in the middle of the season?
We had a tough stretch of the schedule there. We competed well with those teams, and then, you know, we started doing things the right way, started playing good baseball, just basically got back to the fundamentals, zoning in, doing things the right way, having fun doing what we were doing, not putting any extra pressure on ourselves, and just going out and playing the game that all these kids love to play and that they've been playing since they've been little and having fun with it.
You're very impressive in the regional. You really didn't. You just cruised through 3 straight games. It usually doesn't happen that way.
No, we were playing pretty well. You know, I said it on the radio with you know, I take the Tom Izzo a motto of making sure we're playing the right good baseball at the right time. You know, it doesn't really matter what we do in the beginning of the season. We took some lumps, learned from those lumps, and all those lumps turned into learning from us, learning from mistakes, and getting better. And we started to mature and play good baseball at the right time.
Senior Tony Moore. I can't believe that's senior Tony Moore. What's it mean to you to come back and get back to this event, a big boy event at K-State's Toyton Family Field?
It means a lot to know that, me and Grattan could lead our own team to the state tournament again. Last year it was Chase, Layton, and MJ's team, and they led us there. And now we're able to go ahead and bring our own group of guys and go and be able to compete there is pretty special to us, I bet.
What are you thinking in the middle of the year? You are playing a tough schedule. I mean, there's some teams that are going to be at state tournaments, and one in your classification, another one in another. What were you thinking about the team at that time?
Well, I knew we were getting better, and I'd rather compete and lose a close game than blow someone out, 15-0, because competing is fun and it gets you better. Getting better is fun. So I think it really helped us kind of elevate our game in a way, and it kind of got us a lot better.
Grattan, what's it mean to you to get back? I mean, a lot of times, it's been a long time since Houston had been to a state baseball tournament, and what's it mean to get back in back-to-back years for you?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, I didn't grow up in Hoisington or anything, and when I got the opportunity to transfer to Hoisington, I took it and got to play on a great baseball team for the last 3 years, and the last 2 years have been exceptionally fun, growing as a team and watching the younger kids step up where they need to be, and Tony Moore and our coach is helping us get where we need to be and being able to go to state 2 years in a row.
Well, you're coming back as a senior, one of two on this team. So when you and Tony kind of talking about, okay, we lost some good guys from last year, what's going to take to get back at that time? What were kind of those conversations like, Coach?
Yeah, we talked about our freshmen that we had coming up, and I knew we had some good freshmen coming up, and we gave them the opportunity, and I think everyone on the team has stepped up this year a lot from where we were last year, and we just played great baseball.
What really started to click? You guys start hitting the ball, start pitching the ball, play some defense. It all just clicked in at the same time?
I feel like we started to play more relaxed and not under pressure. We were pretty under pressure there when we were playing like Pratt and them guys that are higher than us, and once we got where we needed to be, I feel like we just played baseball really smooth and everything flowed like it needed to.
Coach asked Grattan that, so when you're looking at the makeup of this team before you play your first game of the year, kind of the same thing. What are you thinking at that time that's going to need to happen to get this return trip that you ended up getting?
We were going to need some kids to step up. We had some some juniors that came in and started playing a bigger role than what they did as sophomores last year. Preston Road as a pitcher, obviously, he's done very well for us on the mound. He stepped up his game as a pitcher, got us some big wins. Did very well there. Another one's Lane French. He stepped up, started taking over center field for Layton that had been out there for a while. Did a very good job out there. And then, we had a few freshmen kind of sprinkle in that we had to platoon there for a while. They did a good job. And then our sophomores that were freshmen last year, all those kids have that experience of being at the state tournament and playing varsity baseball. And I think that helped. That they weren't, obviously we saw it at the beginning of the season. They were kind of playing as younger guys, but now they've stepped up and had that experience with playing varsity ball this year and then this season this year. And they've just matured, and now they're playing more like veterans and not the rookies that they were last year. And that's a big step, and they've grown a lot. So all of our players have played a big role in our success, and nobody's been, I guess I should say, selfish about it. They've all kind of accepted their roles of, hey, this is where I need to be. This is where I need to be when who's on the mound. This is where I need to play when, this guy's on the mound, and this is how I need to do what I need to do. And it's just all kind of meshed together, and I think they're a close group. They go to the quick shop after they go down to serves after every practice. I hear them talking about it. I'll meet you at serves, and they go down there and they hang out, and they want to be around each other, and that's important. And I think that's what's helped us build kind of what we've got going on here is just that camaraderie of, you know, everybody understanding their role, everybody wanting to play together and not putting pressure on yourselves.
So you know you've got an ace as part of the pitching staff, but that's, you know, he can't pitch every game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what about the pitching depth and how you develop that, and did you feel good about that going into the year?
I knew we had a lot of guys that could throw off the mound, you know, that could, you know, but how they developed and how they came along was going to be the question. And I felt that, you know, obviously Preston has been exceptional for us. Mason Martin has done a great job for us as well. And Lane French, you know, he kind of struggled there in the middle of the season, but towards the end of the season, you know, we pitched him against Larnard, and that was probably his best outing. I mean, he came out and he was consistently throwing strikes, had a breaking ball that was working, helped us, you know, get that win against Larnard, which kind of helped us build momentum into the regional. I think that gave our kids a lot of confidence coming away with that win. They're to know that, you know, we can go compete with good teams, which we have all year. And, you know, the CKL League is tough. I mean, it's tough. As you can see, there's 3 teams in a state tournament, you know, and we played them all. And as far as I'm concerned, we held our own against most of them.
So, you know, you ever worry about what your players are doing on weekends? Like getting in a 305 sprint car and running around a racetrack?
It's a little nerve-wracking once in a while, but I think he does a pretty good job of knowing, hey, you know, I have baseball.
He can't go for the win tonight, man.
He's cautious about it. He knows if we have big games coming up, he doesn't go race that weekend, or, you know, things like that. And most of the time, you know, we have a Saturday open cage, and I got a lot of my kids out at the ballpark at 11 o'clock, you know, going and hitting and getting better. And that's one thing that I think that, you know, these kids understand, is that it's not just the 2-hour practice, it's the extra stuff that we do. They go down to the Cardinals' nest all the time. You know, those kids are always down there. They're doing what they need to do to get better. They're getting extra cuts in. And they take that upon themselves. It's nothing that I have to force them to do. And I think we're seeing it pay off.
Grattan, our in-studio racer that we have here going on, what's the comparison between racing and playing high school sports as part of a team?
Honestly, I think they're pretty close. I mean, there's both times where you are under pressure and you got to take the high road and do what's best, just like I chose not to race last weekend because I knew state baseball was coming up, and I talked to Coach about it and told him that I chose not to race because I didn't want to risk getting hurt or something. So there's pressure in both, but they're both just a sport and it's fun. So
what are you feeling right now? It's, you know, it's Tuesday. You know, we're still 48 hours away from taking that field. What are you thinking right now?
I'm ready to go. I wish it was tomorrow. Wish it was right now, but just I think the practices the next 2 days are going to go really well, and we can build as a team the next couple of days and get better and go play great baseball.
Tony Moore, you've had a great career, great senior year. What would cap it off with the cherry on top?
Definitely a state championship in baseball. I mean, that's the end goal, ain't it? So that'd be awesome. And, you know, I think what would really, really be really cool if we could do it is we play Heston in the semifinals and we beat them. So that's
could have that
we got on
opportunity.
our bucket list that we want to do.
So what? Since you were there last year, do you see that helping you this year, Tony?
I do. Yeah, I think the first time we went, we were kind of starstruck by
it's a nice field, isn't it?
A lot of kids never played at something like that before. And, you know, there's a lot of summer tournaments where you go and you get to play on fields like that. But a lot of our kids, that's the first time they've been in a stadium like that. And you could tell, I mean, everyone was like, wow, this is awesome. And so it took a minute for us to really, like, come back together. And once we did come together, we held our own. I mean, we played a solid 4 innings of baseball towards the end of the game. It's just, you know, once the damage is done, you can't take it away. So I think it will help us a lot.
Okay, because every time we have Connor Nickel on here, I'll ask him about Hoiston baseball. He says, and the first thing comes out, well, Tony Moore, he's got to be playing a sport somewhere next year. Okay, that's where he starts. Then he starts talking about Hoiston baseball. What are your plans for next year? You know yet?
I want to play baseball, but recruiting's not it's completely different than any other sport. It seems like it's really slow, and you know you have to really go and get in front of other schools in order to get even a glimpse.
So you're a baseball guy.
I'm a baseball guy.
Okay. I would imagine you're going to hand the ball to him first game, right, Coach?
That's the plan.
Okay. How do you keep that adrenaline from, affecting your pitching, Tony?
It'll almost help my pitching, I think. When you're boosted on adrenaline, your body moves and you don't think. I think it's just you move a lot quicker, and it's the same thing in football. Like, I don't feel anything when I'm playing football and adrenaline's running. I feel like just point A to point B, and it's awesome. It's a great feeling, so I'm excited for it. It's getting me kind of jacked up thinking about it right now.
Grattan, are you going to have your heart beat up a little bit?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well. Next Tech Wireless, experience wireless, built by Kansans, for Kansas, and by Equity Bank. Right here beside you, equitybank.com. I didn't know whether you were going to sing or not, so I didn't have your mic on, Coach, but welcome to the...
I didn't know if I was going to get the outfield with the B team on today. I wasn't sure.
Well, is this okay? Corson, he may not come back. He was going to try to, walk up those stairs, the Manitou incline, and I'm kind of concerned for him. I haven't checked Facebook, so I don't know if he made it or not. So
yeah, I've got a question on that because he hadn't been on there, so he might have fallen off, did something, or died, or did something.
He's got ambitions, wanting to climb Mount Elbert, and then he always comes in and holds his lung when he comes in here. I don't know, but anyway.
There's a difference in ambition and truthfulness.
All right. Big week here, as it always is. State track meet coming up. How cool was it to host the regional last week for Great Bend High School? I think you put on a pretty good performance, Coach.
It was really nice, especially for that senior class to be able to, their last ever region meet, to go out and compete at home in front of the home crowd, on our new facility. It was pretty special to watch them be able to do that.
A lot of moving parts when you host a regional like that. So tell me about your support staff so you can go out there and coach and run around all these different events that are taking place like that and not want to get in there and try to run the event.
We've been very fortunate with having a nice, steady crew that we've had of workers, especially that run off the events. Now we'll sprinkle in some new people with them. But, when you get a crew like that have been there for a few years now and did, 2 or 3 meets this year already, they work well together, 1, 2. They know the rules and know the stuff, so it's really nice for that part, too. But it's also nice to have our coaching staff that's been together this long, too. We hadn't had turnover in a long time, so they know the parts in their areas, the shot put and that kind of stuff, to get it ready and all that stuff, and the different events. And then if you throw in the fact with our maintenance crew with Cody Schmidt and his crew, it's just like a well-oiled machine that we get it rolling, and it's just unbelievable help and support we get from them.
Now you've hosted one. You've got an 8-lane track, beautiful facilities, everything's functional. Is that something that can be like a regular occurrence, every year?
We definitely would love to host it every year. I love to host track meets. I like to host it. I especially think we get an advantage, being at home. Cross country, we've hosted the last 4 or 5 region meets. So, we'd like to do that. But of course, we had a revolt against us in the pole vault because we vaulted into a 2-mile-per-hour crosswind. You thought I was the devil, but well, it was a decision we made, and then it turned out to be 30 minutes in. It was a complete east wind, so it didn't make a difference whatsoever. And half the field either PR'd, and the other half either jumped right after PR. So I don't think it made a whole lot of difference.
So take that is what you're saying then, right?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
I always say, you're the plane, you better host.
You mentioned your coaching staff. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot because you got a mind like a tack or whatever. So tell me about that coaching staff that's been together for so long.
Hey, when Aaron Beck and I were our first year, were here together. It was his first year, my first year, and then a lot of times, you see football coaches that don't care too much about track, but Aaron loves track. He puts his effort out there, and he treats it just like he's the head coach of his area. And it's just a really good deal. And then Shelly Duval's been there a long time now, coaching the javelin throwers. Bill Maddie has been the assistant coach of the year. Acacia, he's had last year he had 3 girls qualified state, and they were first and third, I believe. And the year before they were second and third, and this year he's got 2 more girls at the state meet that are competing. Both going to be competing for podium spots, if not a little higher on there with Sadie. And then Monty Dole, kind of Monty and I have been coaching together for I think 50 years, it seems like. Whether this or that, and then Alex Burney is our jumps coach with the horizontal jumps and long and triple, and he's done an outstanding job with our kids, especially with Cooper this year, Omont. And then this year we added Becky Elson to the pole vault. Becky was a first-timer coaching with us, but she's done a really good job with our girls, especially this year. And then Jace Brock coming over from Topeka Seaman. Jace is, of course, a great Ben legend, threw 60-foot in the shot in high school, and did a great job with Allie Gerhardt this year, getting her to the state meet. And this year we had Brock Blessing was kind of our do-it-all guy between the middle school and the high school. So it's a great crew we've had, and we're excited to bring them back every year.
What do you do?
What do I do? Not a whole lot.
Okay.
Not a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. No. All right, Laz Lashley with us right now. Let's get to the Panther girls. You win your 4th straight regional title. It's not easy to do, Coach. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And honestly, we didn't expect to win this one. I didn't honestly pay attention. Usually we talk about it, what I call a war plan before the meet. We didn't even talk about it, so we just said, let's just go out and have fun and try to qualify as many events as we can and do that. And then I just happened to look at my phone at the scores right after the 200, right before the 2 mile. And I started thinking, man, if we go 3, 4, 5 with the 2 mile, and then we'll be a half a point ahead going with the 4x4. And sure enough, it panned out that way, and we were ahead going the 4x4. And I liked our chances going into that. So, we had our 4x4s ready to roll.
What broke that maybe you weren't expecting that put you in that position?
We kind of held serve with everything I thought we'd do. We had a couple of unexpected things, but we just pretty much did what we expected to do. It's just the other schools I thought would beat us had a few fouls, had a few things that messed up. The girl felt bad for the girl from Hayes. She was a state leader. She no-heighted in high jump. So that obviously, if she wins, and Hayes beats us by half a point. And then they just had a couple other things that didn't go well. And Final Central didn't do quite as much as they did. But they had 3 girls that scored most of their points. We looked at 2 distance girls, and the girl in the 100, the 200, and the 400. So, it was definitely a thing where we just held our serve, and then everybody else had a few mishaps.
Talk about Reese Bullard's day.
Reese was coming around, just a long, long ways. Reese was about a 64-second 400-meter runner last year that she put a good winner in, and we kind of converted her, I call the dark side, over to the middle distance world. And, we talked to her and run the 4x8 at the very beginning of the season. She goes, that's kind of fun. So about 4 weeks ago, I said, hey, why don't you try the open 400? She goes, sure, I'd love to. She ran a 225 and did really well, but, her workouts were a lot better than that. She step by step with Eliana, and then she amazingly went from a 225 to a 217 and actually broke our school record, but lost to Eliana about 1/10 of a second. So definitely a big day for her. And then she came around, like I said, she ran 64 and on the 400 last year, she couldn't even make our 4x4. Well, our opening leg that it was 59 seconds for a 4x4. So I mean, she gave us a huge lead, and we kept sailing after that.
Okay, Mike Corson had a picture on Great Bend Post, and I didn't think it was possible, but it I guess it would be called the joy of running. A picture he had of Eliana. She's smiling while she's running. That I didn't think that was possible, but that was just such a joyful picture of a runner that's going to mean so much to this Great Bend program and has. And Eliana's going to be missed.
Oh, it's definitely going to be missed. But the truth be told, that was during the 4x8, and I told her she couldn't break 2:30 or she was going to be in trouble. We wanted to save her. We knew our chances of winning the 4x8 were pretty good, no matter how fast we ran. And so she was just kind of cruising and just make sure she had all the time to lead. But she definitely, Eliana has been one every meet since her freshman year. We could pencil her in for the 4x8 and the 4x4. And then, she was kind of like Reese. Her freshman year started out running the 400 and then kind of converted to the dark side as it went on. And went up to the 800 and hasn't looked back since. And that smile is every day in practice, too. I mean, she just brings joy to practice and just makes a team atmosphere so much better.
Okay, so Daisy Gomez, she's already become there weren't that many, okay, that you could win a state wrestling champion and be the homecoming queen the same year. Okay, so I bet there's never been a state wrestling champion, homecoming queen, and a gold medal winner at the state track and field meet in a relay. Right? I mean, has that been done?
Yeah. I would doubt it, but I don't think we're probably going to win the 4x4.
Okay, all right.
St. James is running 3:56, and that's about 8 seconds ahead of us. So unless something miraculous happens, I would say we're shooting more for a top 3.
Let's take in St. James Academy. Are they going to win it again?
I do believe so.
Oh, okay. All right. What about on the girls' side? You have a chance of maybe bringing a trophy home?
No, I don't. I mean, we'd have to have, just things just go absolutely amazingly correct and just some other schools mess up. But, I think more of a top 5 to top 10 finish is more in our future. I think definitely losing McKenzie during basketball, it's really hurt our chances there. If you throw her on that 4x8, we got 3 girls that can run 2:17. And, Addie, then we're definitely winning that. And we're definitely now, we might be the ones that are running 3:56 in the 4x4. And then we factor in that there was a state runner-up in 300 hurdles 3 years in a row. Yeah. So, that's pretty much, 20 points gone down there. But she, and then also the fact that the stuff she brought to practice every day, kind of like Eliana, there was just always that positivity that she brought. But no, we'll give it what we got though, and try to do the best in every event we got. And we got some girls that got a chance to do some really good things with Macy Nontico in the javelin, and Sadie in the high jump, and then our 4x8 and our 4x4. And Allie Gerhardt, just a foot away from scoring some good points in the shot put. We got some girls right there on the bubble that could do some good things. I just don't think we have enough top end quality this year to get a trophy.
Okay, real quick on the boys' side, Cooper Omot, he was in on Sports Day and kind of said, well, I wasn't planning on going out for track. I just, it sounded like he was voluntold that he was going to go out. This is so cool. Yeah, no problem. Okay, you're a freshman. No big deal. Okay. Tell me about what kind of athlete Cooper Omot is.
I remember watching him jump in like 5th or 6th grade at the Catholic school meet. I think he went like 17 feet or 18 feet, something crazy. I was like, wow. And then, of course, I think he was hurt last year and didn't do it in middle school. And then, like you say, kind of got forced to going out. And then Coach Bernie kind of pushed him to the triple jump. And, he's only been triple jumping, since the season started.
I know.
That's just crazy. There are people that triple jump for years and years and years and they can't get over 40 feet. He goes 46.5 or whatever, 4 or 5 meets into it this year and breaks the school record as a freshman. So he's just very, very amazing talent. I think there's other things he can do on the track and down the road too that will make him even better.
Coach, we'll talk to you next Tuesday. We'll wrap all this up. So here's an invitation. I know you're working and doing all these different other kinds of jobs, cooking and things like that. But, hey, that co-host option is still there next Tuesday, so I'm putting you on the spot right now. So our last show of the year.
Next Tuesday. I don't think you want me to talk about that time of the
day. All right, thanks, Coach. Laz Lashley joining us here on Sports Day. More of the show after this.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
We're done, Hesh. How about that? Great show. Oh, wait, hang on. There you go.
Great show.
Why, thank you. I brought that picture up so you could see it.
That is a wonderful picture of her smiling while she's running.
Lady Panthers senior Eliana Beckham sets a school record in the 800-meter run during Thursday's 5A regional meet at Graben High School. Picture by Mike Corson.
And it's not a slight smile. It's a big old smile.
Have you ever smiled while you ran?
I don't smile at all.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Yeah, good stuff here. No show tomorrow. Royals baseball at 12:30. We'll be back on Thursday. And, yeah, we get a lot of baseball, softball. You can follow the schedule at greatbendpost.com. Don't forget tonight, Royals tonight at 6, tomorrow at 12:30.